Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. And today what we're doing is we're taking a look at how to do keyframes on the Insta360 app for your iPhone. So in order to do this, what I'm going to do is start a recording on my iPhone. We'll turn the microphone on, and once that starts, there we go. So we have a screen recording started, and what I'll do is I'll do the whole segment on the iPhone, but I needed to do this talking head because a lot of people may or may not be able to get what I'm actually doing for some parts of this, because if I do purely screen recording, it might not make sense. So what I'm going to do is come into the 360 app, and what I've already done is I've imported a short clip from the actual camera itself. So in order to go into your editing and that sort of part, you come into the album part, and then you can either go to camera if it's connected, or you can just go straight into local if you've already downloaded the content. So as you can see, this is just a short 14-second clip that I did literally just a few minutes ago. So we click into it, and first thing I'm going to do is just pause it and bring it back to the start. Now, the first thing that you need to know here is if you just scrub through, obviously the viewpoint for whichever angle or whatever sort of shot that you like, you can change right at the start, and that will then keep it throughout the whole video. So if you wanted to, at this point, you could just set it to wide, which is generally what I tend to leave it on. But occasionally I'll change it down to narrow if I'm using it as a second or third camera, and I literally just want it zoomed in on that particular item, if you like. So what you can do is, in order to do keyframes, what you have to do is, what I was doing originally was I was trying everything. I was trying single click, I was trying double click, I was doing everything from what they show you. And essentially, to add a keyframe, all you have to do is just touch and hold. And then at that point, you can then move the screen around. And as you can see, it doesn't take a lot for you to actually go over to the sort of black areas where it's going beyond the sort of bubble, if you like. So you do have to be careful in how you're framing it. So if I just put the subscribe light just into the second there, and now what you'll see is just at the bottom it's added a small X, and you've also got a little dot in the center as well. So now if we just tap on it, it will continue playing through, and that sort of aspect, that viewing point has been locked in. Now what you can do is you can go back literally to the very next frame and add in another one if you like. So what we'll do is we'll follow this through, and just about there, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to click again. I'm just going to move it around a bit more. And one thing that you can also change your, if you want to straighten it out or anything like that. And one thing I did want to test is whether or not it will allow me to change at this point. No, it won't. So that's something that I hadn't actually tried before. So I was checking to see whether I could actually change the viewpoint, the actual angle, recording angle at this point, but it looks like that still affects the whole video. But let's say the other thing was, let's say for example you go back and you realize that for this segment it's not quite what you wanted. You can't just go and hold and edit it. You have to actually delete that keyframe. So in order to delete it, what you want to do is click on the little X right at the bottom there. So on the actual sort of timeline, that's where you need to actually click on the X. That will then delete that particular keyframe, and then you can adjust it by, once again, holding on it, and you do have to hold for roughly around 2 seconds. I have already sent this information out to a couple of people that commented on my videos, and they've confirmed to me that this method also works on Android as well. So obviously I don't have any Android devices to test on, but I have been told that this exact same method is universal between both the iOS app as well as the Android app as well. So yeah, you can't, once you've set that, so now that it's been set and we've got the X, we can't just go back to it and just hold and move around. It won't allow us to do that. Now, just on that screen, if you notice just at the top of the screen, it's brought up a message saying, please turn on flow state stabilization and horizontal lock. So in order for any of this to work, the first thing you have to actually do is tap on the 3 dots in the top right, and then you need to make sure that flow state stabilization as well as horizon lock, sorry, not horizontal lock, both of those are enabled, and that will then allow you to basically do your keyframes. In this scene just here, you can see just just there, you can see some warping on the left hand side of the actual image, if you like. And that is where I'm saying that basically you need to make sure that you're setting it within the sort of bubble of the viewing window, if you like. So if you do set it, let's go extreme, let's go right to there, and let's see what happens. So it chops it off, but you also get, you can see these lines that are coming down from basically the top, the sort of angle of the bubble, and that's essentially what you end up getting if you're just slightly off. So let's click here and try and center it back up, but not do it quite right. So there, once this moves around, you'll probably see a little bit of warping when you have certain colors in those edges of the frame. But obviously what this does do is, with this particular shot, you could have reframed this however you wanted, and not so much for this is a very deliberate kind of shot, but as you can see, I've moved it around, I've changed where in the frame, where in that fisheye capture it's actually recording, and the longer the video, obviously the more you can actually do this. Now if you did obviously not like one of them, so let's go back to the point where, yeah, that one, so I'll just once again click X on that and hold for 2 seconds, drag it back into center, and then that should now be fixed. So once it gets to that keyframe, it is now working again. So that is how you actually go about using keyframes within the iOS app. Now, if you want to export, you literally just tap the icon in the top right. And if you did want to change your settings, you come into here. The standard one, I believe it exports at 1440p, but you can come in here and you can actually change the bit rate. Let's try the highest bit rate with the highest frame rate, and let's see what that gives us. So if you do make any changes, it will restart the export. And obviously because this is such a short video, it shouldn't actually take too long in exporting the actual clip. And there we go. So that is now saved. We can now see that particular video just there. Right, so that is how you go about using keyframes in the iOS app or the Android app with the Insta360 Go2. That's it for this video. If you haven't already done so, please do subscribe to the channel. Also hit the bell icon. I do have a few more follow-up videos coming on the Insta360, going over some of the issues that I've raised in my previous videos, as well as some solutions and some answers from Insta360 directly, who have actually reached out to me. So hit the bell icon so you're notified about those. Also, I'd really appreciate if you give this video a thumbs up. It'll help more people see the video. Other than that, thanks very much for watching.